A lot of people, including myself, are skeptical about this Savanah Soto timeline. And look, I am not one to try to make something out of nothing. I know that the true crime community often makes something out of nothing, but that is not the case here. You have to understand, we have multiple witnesses that claimed they saw Matthew and Savanah on the 22nd. After they were supposedly already killed. Hell, we got family members that claimed they talked to Savanah after she supposedly got killed at around 11:50-ish on the 21st. I mean, even mainstream news outlets were reporting for days since this case began that Savanah and Matthew were last seen and last talked to on the 22nd. So when we hear that they were killed before midnight on the 21st, it doesn't make sense. But at the same time, I've told you all before, we got to be careful not to hyper focus on certain details because often those details are wrong. Even some of the details that we have right now, a lot of them may not be set in stone. Set in stone. Some things are subject to change, I guess. But one of my big questions is, where is the crime scene? Where did this killing take place? Because it looks like to me that they're treating the car as the crime scene. A lot of people seem to believe that this couldn't have happened in the car because people don't see any bullet holes or windows shot out. But where else could this have happened? I was thinking, hey, maybe it happened in the garage or something like that. But if it did, wouldn't the house be a crime scene? Wouldn't the garage have been searched, taped off? Now, I don't live in the neighborhood. I don't live there. I know they got neighbors outside recording all day, so maybe they saw something. Maybe I missed something. But if this happened in the home or in the garage, you would think that there would be a forensic team coming in or some type of investigative team coming in to investigate the scene of the crime, collect whatever evidence, look for blood splatter, look for all of that stuff, right? But none of that has happened at this home, at least to my knowledge. Hell, I don't even think that they set up a crime scene outside the home. I know that police have been there multiple times. They've maybe collected items. They, took the two individuals in that they arrested. But did they set up like a crime scene outside of the home so they could look around? I didn't see that happen. Now I know that when they found the car and the bodies, they taped the area off and that got turned into a crime scene. But as of right now, we're all wondering where this could have happened at. Some people think that they were killed before the car even arrived at the address, but law enforcement has stated they were killed shortly before midnight. And it appears there was a search on one of the phones to even find the address that they were going to, which makes me think that maybe this was someone new that they were dealing with. Maybe this was their first time at this residence because they had it kind of in the GPS. But then again, I can tell you, me, after I go somewhere a few times, I may know the direction, but sometimes I need directions to go to the same location multiple times. So I don't know if I should read too much into this, but looking at the fact that they kind of like were GPSing trying to find this address, it makes you believe that there's a huge possibility that maybe they didn't deal with this kid before. Or at the very least, maybe they've never been to this location before. But once again, if this happened in the house, I feel like we would have seen more activity in that house. And you would think that if it happened right outside the house, that there may have been even more activity outside that house. But a lot of the activity seems to be, centered around the apartment where these bodies were found. Now, were they killed at that apartment? I don't know. All I know is this whole situation happened way too quickly. Way too quickly. From the time they pull up to the time they get killed to the time their bodies are dropped off and Big Papa is already driving off after helping his son It's only 9 minutes. It's only 9 minutes. They pull up, they get killed, they get dropped off, and Pops gets brought into the equation all within 9 minutes. So whatever happened, happened fast. And I'm just curious as to why we haven't gotten an explanation as to where this happened yet. And I'm curious as to why we haven't seen investigators or law enforcement in any area setting up a scene, just doing their investigative thing. You know what I mean? Because even if this happens outside the house, there could be shell casings, there could be all types of little evidence that they would want to collect, but I haven't seen them doing that. So it appears as if they're just treating the car almost as if the car is the scene of the crime, which I do think is probably the most likely scenario. But, it just seemed like that wasn't the case, because it didn't look as if there were windows blown out and things like that. And you would think that the neighbors would hear someone getting shot right in front of their house. But hey, you never know, I guess. You never know. But one thing I do know is there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. And law enforcement did a great job at catching these guys pretty quickly. But I hope they don't let their foot off the pedal just yet. I hope they keep their foot on the gas. Because if you ask me, if this timeline is right, if all of this happened within 9 minutes, there's no way that the father did not have prior knowledge that something was going down. There's simply not enough time for Christopher to end these two lives. And then you have to think about it. He had to drag Matthew, at the very least, from the front seat to the back seat. Okay? Then he had to drive to the apartment complex where they dumped the bodies, which is a couple of minutes away as well. So all of this happens within 9 minutes. I don't feel like there's any time there for a discussion between him and his father at all. I don't feel like there's any time there. In fact, I feel that law enforcement, one of the main things they should be looking into right now is if there was any communication between Chris and his father within that 9 minutes. Did Christopher call his father at some point within those 9 minutes? Because if he didn't, then we already know the deal, right? We already know the father knew something was going to happen. If there's no phone call between 11:50 and 11:59, if there is no phone call from Christopher to his father, then I feel like that right there tells you everything. That should tell you everything you need to know. But with that being said, I'm going to let you all come up with your own theories, your own speculations. Drop them down in the comments below. If I missed anything, if teams did go into the garage and case the whole place, let me know. But I'm pretty sure I didn't miss that. Let me know all of your thoughts down below, though. If you're feeling generous and you want to help the channel, you want to donate to the channel, you could do so via Cash App. I'll have my Cash App in the pinned comment. You could also donate via Super Thanks, or you could help the channel for free by sharing the video, liking the video, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, all of that good stuff. And with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.